No, Ma. No, Ma. Jaxon Smith-Njigba. I know he's on a buy. Ma, don't trade him. Ma, don't do anything till I get there, Ma. I'll be right there. Don't trade.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Jaxon Smith-Njigba is a monster. Wrong screen. There we go. Jaxon Smith-Njigba is a wide receiver one. We know that. Is he the wide receiver one? Is he number uno? Well, according to this easy to find stat, sort by wide receiver scoring, sort by wide receiver yardage, this man's nearly 200 yards above all other wide receivers. Something maybe you don't notice, you don't look at every single day and compare these wide receivers in 7 played games, 50 receptions, 70 targets. This man's got 819 receiving yards. Next closest is Jamar Chase with 629. Pretty remarkable when you think about what Jamar Chase has faced and endured. To be honest, it's a very, very shocking number. But this man is number one in yardage by nearly 200 yards. The thing that you got to ask yourself is, will this continue? How much do you believe in Darnold? How much do you think Darnold will, what if Darnold goes missing? Do we believe Milroe will step in and do what Darnold's been able to do? And I love Milroe, but this connection you don't want to mess with. Secondly, you want to ask yourself, is there going to be drop off? Is this a chance to sell high? I'm going to say no. This Seattle Seahawks team is doing really, really well. Their defensive side of football is dominating. The offensive side is doing their job, and this is a nice recipe for consistent JSN production. Clearly proven over the course of 7 games, a very nice sample size. So when you got good defense, you got a pretty solid rushing attack that's very much better than it produces. It really is. This is balance. This is balance. It's good flow of game. It's good game script, and it's probably going to continue. Not to mention, the only time you're going to want to trade JSN, if you are even going to trade him, is if you're walking into this week and he's going into a bye week, and you have a chance to switch him out for a bye week free player. Like, let's say you go after Derrick Henry and a wide receiver like a Dunze, and you get 2 players for 1, and you're not winning with JSN. The only person that should be trading JSN is a person that's not winning with JSN. If you've got 1 win, first of all, shame on you. If you've got 1 win with JSN, he's doing what he can. You're not winning with him. You might as well trade him into 2 players, divide and conquer. If you've got 2 wins, you're not winning with JSN. Not to mention, you haven't been winning with JSN. You're certainly not going to win with him on a bye. So then you got JSN not helping you there. That's the only type of person that should be trading JSN. I think more than anything, I'm here to tell you to not assume that this is going to be a falling knife. Not assume that this is going to change course. Not be afraid and break up with JSN thinking, oh, he's going to break up with me. I might as well break up with him first. That's not the way this is going to go. This is not the way it should go. I don't know if he finishes as wide receiver 1 overall, but he certainly could finish in the wide receiver 1 to 3 range, I think, given how much of a head start he has. Meaning that he's number 1, let's say, right now in a lot of categories. If he does drop off or get a little more inconsistent than he's been, just a little bit, then he could fall. But he's so far in front with a lot of statistics that I don't know that he's fallen much out of this like top 3 or 4. So this would be like his ceiling, assuming he stays healthy, is finishing as wide receiver 6. His floor is finishing as the absolute wide receiver 1 if he stays healthy. And that right there is consistency you can't buy unless, someone's sleeping at the wheel. I truly believe that this is a Remember, this is a receiver that Garrett Wilson said was the best wide receiver he played with when this man was playing with him. He was playing with just similar to Ibuka. Ibuka has played with the best wide receivers in really, I think you could say almost historically. I don't know that there's another wide receiver I can remember that has played with as much talent as Ibuka's played with. And JSN was the same. JSN had to play as a younger player, as a freshman, with some elite players, Olave, Garrett Wilson, and both Olave and Garrett Wilson were phenomenal in college. And they both said that this man was better than them. And so when he came into the league, we knew this was high praise. There was a high bar. He's been unbelievable this year. Ibuka and JSN are very similar in that they're rovers that have been able to dominate the slot and learn the position on all three levels and basically morph to the scenario and environment in which they live. And if I had to pick two players that would, and remember, this was a Mars man, a guy we talked about being a top 5 wide receiver the whole offseason. If anybody forgets that JSN and Ibuka both have been a part of, the content, everything that we've done in the whole offseason. These two players do feel like they potentially are cemented in top 5 wide receivers, top 5 to 6 wide receivers for the future. They feel very similar. Their upsides feel very similar. Their situations, I'd even say Buka's is better than JSN's, but JSN's is perfectly aligned for right now. Whether that changes later, whether Darnold turns back into a pumpkin. And remember, Darnold did fold at the end of last year for the Vikings. Hard to suggest that he's going to be flawless all year, but things look really good right now. Seattle's got it cooking and humming, and things are probably going to get, not going to get worse. They'll stay the same at least. But I do believe JSN and Buka kind of equal each other in terms of future value. So you could call this a little bit of a dynasty sesh right here, a little bit of a dynasty show on top of redraft. I believe these guys are very much top wide receiver 1 to 5 for the future, for the now. Buka about to get more targets than he can handle. Hopefully he stays healthy. JSN, he's the only show in town. He'll continue to be fed. He'll be continued to be force fed, and he plays in the slot. And as we talked about in the offseason when we were talking about JSN, and some people were saying, well, what happens, Smitty, if they run with 12 personnel? And let's say they have 2 tight ends on the field, Smitty, and they're running 12 personnel, and they've got a wide receiver and a wide receiver right here. And you're not having a slot wide receiver that would be JSN's specialty, to live in this slot while these wide receivers stretch the field. And the thing about being an outside wide receiver is that sideline's so close to you that you don't have an ability to maneuver left. Very small amount of routes and ability for you to do anything when you're on the outside as an outside wide receiver. That's why outside wide receivers sometimes get the shaft. You got MHJ a lot of the times if he's lining up on the outside, he's running these very, very strict go routes, a post route, and Kyler doesn't see him because Kyler scrambles this way. And you got MHJ either dragging across the field, but Kyler can't even see him, or MHJ's running this like post route. That was a lot last year. But the thing about Seattle is, first of all, they're doing all kinds of, they're putting him in all kinds of positions in the slot, wherever. But the thing about this situation in Seattle is if you line up the wide receiver really tight against this, so here's the sideline. They're lining up JSN really tight, and this is happening a lot in the NFL now. Even in a 2 wide receiver set and a 12 personnel, you'll have him line up so tight against this line, this tight end, that he can run routes that essentially it's almost like masking that you're in the slot. And so they run JSN all over the field and the line of scrimmage in ways that makes him play very much like a slot wide receiver, no matter where he's lining up on the line of scrimmage. I love what I'm seeing out of JSN. I love how this team is exploiting everything they can. And there's really no way to stop a guy like JSN because he's such a good ball skill, hands type of wide receiver that you could say like Jerry Rice, you couldn't really double team him. His route running was perfection. His hands were perfection. He wasn't a speed guy, but he had good game speed. JSN's always had a knock that, oh, if you put him on the outside or you don't have him in the slot, he won't be as effective. We heard that all offseason long. But I came in here and told you, don't worry. Seattle's going to line him up so tight on the line that it'll be like he's playing slot. He'll have an ability to go left, right, not just straight down the field. And not to mention they'd run him in some 3 wide receiver sets. But JSN's been all over the place in his ability to pull in with his hands like no other wide receiver in the league, his ability to dominate one-on-one, his ability to dominate double teams, his ability to get a jump ball, his ability to put literally his quarterback in a position where he looks like he's back in Minnesota throwing a JJ and making him look like an absolute prince. I mean, Darnold probably is not as good as he looks right now, but Darnold went from one elite wide receiver in JJ over to one elite wide receiver over in JSN. JSN is it. He is the real deal. He's top 5. This is a dynasty top 5 wide receiver. We thought so in the offseason. We think so now. Nothing's changing, and this kid's only getting better. He's got high praise everywhere he's gone, from the college level to the pro level, and every teammate he's ever been around has said, this guy's better than me. How often do you hear a wide receiver like Garrett Wilson, Olave, other wide receivers say, he's better than me? This guy's the best wide receiver on the field. Whenever he's on the field, he's the best wide receiver. In any room you shove him in, he's the best wide receiver. That's what we keep hearing. JSN's a machine. Absolute machine. Buka's the same way. Buka is JSN. JSN is Buka. Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel. Doesn't even matter. You're looking at a monster. You're looking at 2 monsters. You're looking at 2 identical twins. In fact, maybe Buka and JSN are from the same cloth. We don't know. Do we have verifiable evidence that they're not? Because these guys look identical. JSN Buka to the mother freaking moon. Let it continue. In fact, send him to Jupiter. Oh, wait, we already have.
To Jupiter.
Stock on the rise.
All right, let's get to some of these super chats. Congrats on anybody that owns JSN. Congrats on anybody that owns Buka. Congrats on anybody that owns Buka and JSN. And congrats to anybody that owns Buka and JSN in Dynasty. And if that's you, raise your hand if that's you. This is what it feels like. Wearing my hat from Boston Scally. I like this thing, man. I like you own JSN and Buka in the same league. Raise your hand, please. Raise your hand if you feel like a Peaky Blinder right now, because you've absolutely been working people over. Just da 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 da. If you peakied somebody lately, you don't watch Peaky Blinders, I don't know how to help you. You own both. Let me know. Raise your hand in the chat. Gibbs and JSN, that works too. That works too. All right, let's hit these super chats and get to it. And we'll open the phone lines, have a little fun. A little Bed Bath & Beyond. I don't know if we'll have time. Grassgrow back in the building. Grassgrow with the $50 hauler. My boy Grassgrow dropping wads already, straight out of the gate.
Give me $50 hauler.
I mean, really, Grass is doing work. Where was that? Did I put it over on this screen? I think I did. All right, let's move this up here. Let's go over here and right here. All right, Grassgrow, appreciate you. Who won this 12 team? 1 QB Dynasty trade. Team 1. 3 first rounders. 2 second rounders. And 3 third rounders. Lamar and Gadsden. Grassgrow, this is a lot. This is quite a bit to digest. 12 team, 3 first rounders, 2 seconds, and 3 thirds, Lamar and Gadsden. Team 2 gets Judkins, Tet, McBride, Dobbs, and Stroud. I'd probably say off the top of my head, first of all, that's a lot of first rounders. But I will say the seconds and thirds are kind of accoutrements. They're not must-haves. They're not crazy value. They're additives. They're okay. So really, it comes down to 3 first rounders and some change. I'm not going to necessarily weigh those seconds and thirds that much. So Lamar and 3 first rounders in a 1 QB. You didn't say Superflex. Superflex would be completely different. So add more value if this is Superflex. But if it's non-Superflex, 3 first rounders and Lamar for Judkins, Tet, McBride, and Dobbs. I'd probably say that I'd rather have, it depends on where the first rounders are at. Can you give me an indication of where they could be? If there were early first rounders, you said like one of them's probably going to be the 1 pick. Another one's going to be top 3 or 4. The other one's going to be pretty mid to early. Then I think I could lean toward the first round picks if I feel like I'm not necessarily winning with this McBride Judkins addition to my team. But if McBride, Judkins, and Tet added to my team make me feel like a money cash cow contender, then I'm fine making this move. But I will say I think it's a lot. I think Lamar alone, you could say, is worth McBride. And I know some of you might disagree, and that's fine. But honestly, I think you could easily take those 2 out and just say, take McBride out, take Lamar out. Let's simplify this bad boy. And some of you might like Tet as much to trade a first rounder for him. Some of you might like Judkins as much to trade 2 first rounders for him. And then you call this an even trade. I think it could be argued to be even. But I think what it comes down to is where we see the value of those draft picks and what kind of upside they have. So that would be very much contingent upon that answer. My solution or my resolution. Trade Travis Hunter for BTJ. I'd rather have. Why would we want BTJ, who's dealing with an unknown shoulder injury, over a guy that's now anointed the number 1 in Jacksonville and very much could keep the number 1 role? So Hunter for me. James Cook and Quentin Johnston or Gibbs. This goes back to what was his name? Path was telling us, or sending us messages all night long about how he could destroy his Gibbs value. I think you've been. Is this the same guy? I mean, Gibbs. Let me ask you a question. Would you trade an old beat up, kind of smashed in VW van that's, missing a tire? Here's one tire. There's nothing here. And here's the door. The door is missing. It's got no engine. It's smashed up. It's beat up. There's that. Would you trade this in for, or shall I say, would you trade a sports car, a Lamborghini, maybe a souped up Ford Bronco? I don't know that I can even draw a Ford Bronco. I guess I can draw. Let me draw. Can I draw the Batmobile? Would you trade the Batmobile in for, I don't know if I can do this. Can I do an Indy car? How about we do this? How about we draw this? $200,000. $200,000. Would you send that in for a beat up, junkyard, unsalvageable VW van? I guess that's where my question lies, because I feel like that's kind of what you asked me. Thank you, FU, for the super chat. I like James Cook, I do, but Quentin Johnston closes no gaps. He makes no trades closer. He's good. He's okay. I definitely like him. Wide receiver 3, sure, but there's no closing those margins in and making this an even Steven trade. All right. Trying your advice, had first waiver position, tough year. Already had Tyler Warren and Kraft. Have tried to trade Kraft, but snagged Gadsden anyway. Then traded my T-Mac and Gadsden for Rashee Rice.
just been Smitty approved.
It's Chiefs season. Mahomes is scoring 45 plus touchdowns. Let them cook.
Got him.
Got a little bit of a delay today on some of the scene adjustments. I don't know what's going on. Let me just put it this way, Andy. You blasted him. You took his last name. You made him change his name to yours. You became his daddy overnight. You now live rent-free in his head, and he's going to hate Rashee Rice from now on. Every time he sees Rashee Rice's name or jersey, he's going to throw up. So congratulations on that. Keep trying to move stuff, but, I mean, you already one step in a great direction. I don't care if you lost somebody. You had a rough year. Not anymore. You just got Rashee Rice for free. Surprised the league didn't create a veto process just because of you. So nice job, my boy. Nice job. Let's see. We got a $20 holler response from Grassgrow. Grassgrow, appreciate you. What is going on with my system? 1.3 mid first and late first. 1.3. So good estimations. I like how you did that. I'm going to say 1.3 mid first, late first versus in Lamar versus Tet, Judkins, and McBride. I'm going to rather have Judkins, Ted, and McBride, I believe, over the 1.3 mid-first and late-first in Lamar. But that's, again, contingent upon that the team getting Judkins, McBride, and Ted can win now. If it can't win now, then it's just a waste to throw all these picks at the situation. I would also trade Ted McMillan in something to upgrade somewhere else. So, Grassgrow, it's a great question, great dilemma. Very, very perplexing and tough to evaluate question. Smitty, I'm in 3 leagues, 6-1, 4-3, 1-6. A lot of diversity there, Husseini. That's great work, actually, to diversify your portfolio. Fantasy is so weird this year. It is. I mean, we broke it down earlier, and, people like to complain about how, things get missed, or Smitty, you missed this, you missed that. And I'm taking accountability for things that I've missed on. But to defend the entire human race, the entire 48% of all the top 20, and this is just the top 29. It goes deeper into the top 50. Top 50 is probably a similar percentage. It's just at what point do you stop, right? I just wanted to highlight the top 30. So if you go through this is top 29, actually 29 names on here. 48% of the top 29, 48% of the top 29 have absolutely 100% utterly busted. And those that were kind of borderline, that busted for part of the year, played well part of the year, they were left unhighlighted. But you could continue to, include a couple more names. Some said Nico, they think, deserves to be given his cost of entry at 8 overall, deserves to have a red highlight. But point is, 48% of the top 29 have utterly, no equivocation, no stuttering, no hesitation, have utterly busted. So it's a wild year, Husseini. But in that, a lot of people are struggling, and we oftentimes don't have time to examine all the teams in our leagues. Raise your hand if you could pull up even 2 teams from your league and know who they have without looking at it, like even 4 names. I can't pull up one of my leagues and say, oh, this guy has these 4 guys. I know that. I don't remember that. I don't know that. I don't have time for that. You play in 3, 4, 5 leagues. You have no idea. So no one spends time combing through everybody else's problems. I can promise you that there are a lot of people, pretty much everybody's dealing with some sort of gut punch. And that's the reality of the situation. So even if you're 4-3 in your middle league or 1-6, you're still fighting it out because other people might have suffered injury just recently. And it's a crazy year, and a lot of the teams that win are going to crawl to the finish in a sense. So, this year I'm in 1st place, 6th place, and 9th place. Keep trying, keep chugging along. We'll work out the 4-3 team. We'll try our best with the 1-6 team. Don't give up on it, but we'll certainly need to protect and try and revive that 4-3 team. So you got a 2/3 going through and doing good work. What's up, Smitty? Who should I start, Marks or Dowdle? I don't think I sit Dowdle until further notice, man. You just keep rolling with that monster. I think Marks is a good prospect. You keep him, you trade him high, or, we just hope and watch it. Dynasty, Devontae Smith, 4 pits in a 27-second. I think I get more for Devontae off that big week, or I just hold him. I love Devontae Smith. I haven't loved his situation, but his situation is throwing. That's all we've needed. That's all Devontae Smith's ever needed is yardage, attempts, targets. So I'd say you're selling him low. 7-0, 12-man got sent Lamar Jackson for my Hurts and T. Higgins. I would rather have Lamar coming off of the bye. I believe he's going to outscore Hurts. I think Hurts could live in a volatile state again. I'm not saying he's not playing well. I give him credit and give a man credit where credit's due. He's been trash and now he's great. He's looking great, but that could be volatile. The Eagles are a very, very weird team. They're almost as weird as this fantasy season. They're just such a weird, awkward team. They're boring to watch, then they're not. Then they're boring to watch, then they're not. They can't run the ball at all. Will teams start shutting down Jalen Hurts, passing the ball, and then they got to force to try and run again? I would say give me Lamar. I think he's rested, should be good to go. Is there risk of him having a setback and not playing this week? Maybe, but got CMC, Achane, Henry, Dowdle. Thinking of countering Hurts, Achane, T for his LJ, JT. I'm fine with that too. I'm fine with either one. I don't mind if you play a little hardball and try and get something done. I like that. I like that team though. I think it's good. But Lamar being bye week free is nice. You don't necessarily need it because you're undefeated, but I love the show. No questions from me. I'm 5-2, sitting pretty with Jacobs, Cook, JJ, and Olave. Congratulations, Con. Maybe just take a look-see at what Olave. Could Olave and Jacobs or Olave and Cook get you into a Bijan or something? I mean, maybe you look into it, but that's it. I mean, I like this team a lot. Nice work. Nice work. I've seen people get Gibbs was very attainable till last week. Now no one can get him. But Bijan, I mean, you never know. People are finicky about some stuff. Derrick Henry, McCaffrey, Smitty got McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, Scat, Judkins, White, Egbuka, Rice, Adams, Pittman, Pearsall, Godwin got offered Bijan and Coleman for Rice and Henry. Man, you'd have McCaffrey, Bijan, Henry. Or no, I'm sorry, you give away Henry. McCaffrey, Bijan, Judkins, Buka, Adams. That'd be pretty good. I think I take Bijan, but this is a tough one, man. Because the thing that's going to be tough about this one, Josh, I could see you coming into the live stream and saying that was a painful trade. I wish I hope I don't regret it. I could see it going both ways. First of all, Bijan's at his bye already, which is fantastic. So is Henry, though. But I could see you coming in and saying, like, if Henry has 102 touchdowns this week, and there's a real good chance they try to get him that to change the motion of this team and the direction. Now, they could fail, and then we're going to panic on Henry. That's why Henry's a risk. It's high risk, high reward, and we're going to know this week whether it's going to work. And if you get Henry getting 102 touchdowns and then Rice goes crazy, I could see this being, and then what if Bijan has 90 yards total and no touchdowns? I could see you feeling that way. But long term, you got to think Bijan's the call. But I'm just warning you that you'll see probably good production out of the duo this week, and don't let it make you too upset. Big Papa dropping a blank $4.99. Thank you, Big Papa, for dropping that. Make sure you guys include the questions in the message. Unless you're just saying thanks. I appreciate you dropping that, by the way. This is Grassgrow dropping another $20 communication between Grassgrow and I. That's how he communicates with $20 haulers. Damn, I appreciate you. I do most of my trades after a few Lone Stars. I'm the Judkins side. I'm in a complete rebuild. I still have a late first rounder and all my 27 picks. What do I do to fix this? Also, my first dynasty team ever. Oh, don't tell me you were on the other side of what I was celebrating. That's going to really make me sad. And maybe you're just, hold on one second. What was it? Dynasty trade. Team 1, 3 first round. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. I got you. Never mind. I was thinking there was that other trade. So, yeah. But remember, Grass Girl, I'm very much leaning both sides. So you don't have to feel, you said, damn. I almost feel like you think that I didn't like one side or the other. It's very, very close. And as I said, I kind of lean toward the Judkins side. So damn shouldn't be in your vocabulary right now because I think, I do like that side. Complete rebuild, still have a late first rounder. So I think maybe you're saying damn because you can't win now. Is that what you're suggesting? Like I said, I like that side if you can win now. I mean, it's good value. Judkins is a monster right now. And I think he continues. McBride's a monster. I think the chat in general wants that side. I really probably do think that. Guys, can we vote on it? Do you prefer the 3 first rounders? We're assuming it's a 1.3, a mid first, and then a 9th overall or something, or a 10th overall. So think of it as like a 1.3, 1.5, 1.9. Would you rather have those first rounders and Lamar or Judkins, Tet, McBride, Dobbs, and Stroud? Now, I don't like Stroud at all, but I don't think that's a bad situation. I still have a first rounder. What do you think I can do to fix this? I would say, so if you still got a first rounder, I'd go first rounder in Tet for Rice, first rounder in Tet for, you can't get JSN right now anymore. That would have been beautiful like 2 weeks ago when people are thinking, you slow down a little bit. JSN's untouchable. First rounder and Tet for Egbuka. First rounder and Tet for, you could go injured Nico Collins because people tend to feel certain kind of whatever in their feelings when a player's injured. First rounder and Tet for Neighbors. Are you feeling me on that one, chat? See, the chat loves the Judkins side. I think you're fine, Grassgrow. But what do you guys think of that? Especially a person getting Tet right now and the first rounder for Neighbors, if they can win right now, Grassgrow. You can slip in there and grab Neighbors while he's healing. You got Neighbors, Judkins, McBride. I think that's a nice maneuver. JJ, you could go after JJ for that. I think you just keep throwing stuff at people till you get something to stick. Bucky, you could go after Bucky potentially with the Tet and first rounder. If you even think that that's something you want to do. If you're rebuilding, it's going to take a couple years. Sometimes running backs are a little iffy to go after because their shelf life is pretty short, but those are interesting, I think, ways to attack that using the first rounder. Start McMillan, Chase Brown, QJ over Woody. I'd probably start, I would say McMillan or QJ, and then maybe Chase Brown and then Woody in that order if I'm ranking them. Chat, who would you start this week? McMillan, QJ, or Chase Brown, or Woody? Please vote for GT. Let's give him your undivided attention. MHJ, Love, or CJ? I go Love. Oh, no. I'm trading away. Okay, trade CJ. CJ Stroud. MHJ and CJ Stroud for JD5 and JMO. I'd take just JD5. Definitely get JMO, though. That'd be great. We got a Chase Brown vote. We got a McMillan vote. Grassgrow says thanks. Thank you, Grassgrow. Grassgrow, you're the number one ranked chatter right now, according to the YouTube chat crown rankings there. Congrats on that. McMillan, Chase Brown in that order. No one's trading Chase Brown in that trade. I said that was a start question, I believe, unless I read it wrong. V 4-3 offered Brees for May and Worthy. Any trade ideas? I'd rather have May and Worthy, honestly. Well, you got Allen. I don't mind what you're doing here. I just think maybe, God, can't you get just a little bit different player? Can we get somebody? I don't mind this, but Worthy's so good that it feels like you should be doing May for Brees Hall. That would be my advice. You say, bro, you're trying to get a quarterback from me, and May's a top 5 guy, and you want to like make it even. Like Worthy and Brees, you could argue is even. He wants to just get May for free. Absolutely not. Sutton, I mean, you could do this trade 1-for-1 and then trade Sutton and Brees Hall for some bigger monster. You could trade Addison and Worthy right now, or JCM and Worthy right now for Adams. Might be hard. He did have a good game. But people are weird and finicky. A Dunze might be not be a bad idea. Worthy for Dunze straight up, or Worthy and JCM for a Dunze potentially. James Cook, Worthy, and JCM and Addison, all for James Cook and something, for Kyron and something, for I always like the Henry move. Yeah, buddy. 5-1 traded Rice and Chuba for Enrico for Bucky and Lamar. That's hard to judge without the quarterback information, but I'd say in general, I could get behind this. If you're 5-1, you can wait on Bucky. I'm fine with that. I like Rice over Bucky straight up, obviously, because of the missed time and everything, but Lamar is pretty good for that. That's a pretty even trade. I'd say pretty even, Steven. I could definitely argue both sides of that. Navage with a super chat, $5 hauler. My boy Navage coming in strong. Appreciate you, Navage. Smitty 4-3, 10 team, 1 QB PPR. Any moves? QB Dak, Stroud, Bijan, Brown, Sharps, Hendy, Harvey, London, Buka, Adams, MHJ, Kraft, Fannin. Kraft's always a nice player to trade. Kraft, and let's say you keep those 3 wide receivers. Damn, those are good. London, Buka, Adams. Trade MHJ and Kraft for some Chase Brown upgrade. So Kraft and Chase Brown, keep Fannin, or you could throw Fannin in and just go MHJ, Chase Brown, and throw Fannin in. But Chase Brown you're trying to upgrade Chase Brown into man, you could go after MHJ and Chase Brown for what running back? I want to say JJ, but you don't need a receiver, but I'd still contemplate it. You could always flip other value. So the Cook off the bye week, Henry off the bye week, Judkins probably going to be hard to do. Kyron, Achane, all doable. I mean, I'm not saying everyone wants to do that trade, but one of those owners might take Chase Brown and MHJ, especially if you'd have thrown a Fannin, or Kraft and Chase Brown, or Kraft and MHJ. Or you could go Kraft, MHJ, and Chase Brown for one of those guys and get another piece, like a Ladd that they hate, and you're like, you know what, I'll invest in Ladd, or a Harvey, or a Hendy. Yep. Vlad, appreciate you. I am 3-4, 3 straight wins. Thanks to you. No, thanks to you, Vlad. So Vidal, Mason, or JCM in the flex this week. I'm going Vidal. I trust. Look, Aaron Jones, we don't know what he is coming back. I mean, that would certainly change some things if we got some clarification on him not doing much at all. But I still think I lean Vidal. Joe Alt's going to play in this game. At least he should, unless there's a setback. It's just going to be a better situation. Judkins and Rico are my starters. Yeah, I'd probably say Vidal. I know he's very disappointing last week. I guess Mason might be safer. Chat, Mason or Vidal? Maybe Mason's the safest call. Maybe plug Mason in unless we hear some negative stuff about Mason and the workload. And then go Vidal, I suppose. I just think there's a chance Vidal pops back off. But then again, it's hard to say. I think Vidal is somebody you gotta feel it at the moment. Haskins is injured. He's the only show in town right now. So got offered Algier for Woody. I'd rather have Woody. Okay. If you have Bijan, I'm fine with that. Worth considering. Should I hang on to Woody? I think if you got Bijan, it's safe. I'm fine with that. It's not not my favorite move in a vacuum, but I don't mind it if you're in that situation. It's understandable. Very understandable. Thank you, Drizzy, for the super chat. Got offered Algier for Woody. Thank you. Appreciate you. All right, let's get this. DB's got a question here. X for Wandell. X for Wandell. I don't know what that means, DB. Thank you for the super chat, though. Allen or May might be available. My team is Kyron, Bucky, Rashad White, CD, Buka, McLaurin, Addison, Hunter, Kincaid, Kittle. Team that also has Saquon, Hall, Adams, Sutton. Okay, so in general, 1 for 1, you could say, give me, obviously, Josh Allen. I'll give you Kittle and Addison or something like that, of course. And McLaurin and Kittle. I'd do that. If we're doing 1 for 1, I mean, I guess I would give Kittle for May, potentially. I think, you know, if you want to do something more complex, I'd love to get Josh Allen. And let's see here. I wonder if you could do, not trading CD, not trading Buka. Nah, probably not trading Kyron. I think I could move Buka. I could move Bucky. I could move Bucky for Saquon if I'm getting Josh Allen. And then you know you're giving them. I just don't know if he's gonna do it. So you'd be getting Josh Allen and Saquon. Now, if he thinks Saquon's better than Bucky, even with Bucky missing time, then this isn't going to work. I mean, he needs to think he's getting an upgrade. So, like, you're downgrading to Barkley, which is a risk, but then you're going from Josh Allen and then you're giving potentially Addison or something. But at the same time, I'm totally fine doing Scary Terry for May. I would try my best to get Josh Allen using Addison and Kittle, you know, or something like that. That would be my favorite approach. And then if it's just May, then you're probably gonna get rid of. I would do Kittle for May if I had to. McLaurin or Addison for May, Kittle for May. Not doing multiple players, but that's probably where I would land with that. X-Worthy for Wandell. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, bro. My brain is fried. And sometimes I think people are, I don't know. I guess in hindsight, I should have known when you were saying. X-Worthy, Xavier Worthy for Wandell. Did you just say X? Is that what you said? X for, so yeah, I guess I shouldn't have known. What are you talking about, DB? I know you're saying sorry, I appreciate you. But what on earth makes you think I'm going to know what the hell you're talking about here? I'm just asking. X for Wandell? How the hell would I know that's Xavier Worthy? How in the hell would I have known that, DB? I'm not mad at you because it cost you $4 to ask the $2 question. So truly, the hat off to you. I appreciate you. You're keeping the lights on, but I'm just asking, how in the hell would I have known that? I wish more people would ask this so they could ask their question twice, to be honest, though. I'd rather have Xavier Worthy, DB. Could it backfire? Sure. Is Wandell safer because Worthy's dealing with a dislocated shoulder? He's got to worry about knocking out a socket. Yeah, it's riskier. Okay, let me get Husseini with a $50 wad.
$50. Give me $50, holla.
Husseini says, I need to start right players this week. 1-6 league. Let me know any changes or keeping the lineup. Start Knicks. Okay. Running backs are Judkins, Rashad White. Wide receivers are Rice and Sutton. Flex is Lab McConkey. Tight end is Tyler Warren. Falcons D, Boswell. Bench. Okay. Genty bye. Hunter bye. Woody, Harvey, Kamara, Pacheco. Projected 125, opponent 132. I think you're doing the right things here. I could only see one potential player that I would consider moving out of the lineup, and that would be Ladd for or Alvin Kamara, I suppose. Everything else, like Woody, Ladd, I'd probably take a chance on Ladd before I bank on Woody yet. We're waiting on Woody. Guys, can I get a vote on Ladd McConkey versus Kamara? Kamara versus Ladd McConkey for Husseini, just to see if there's anything he needs to swap out here. Or if you think you go Woody Marks, please drop that. I'm fine with that too. Harvey, we're waiting on. But very, very curious what you guys would do. I would probably say Ladd for me. I still firmly believe Ladd is a hidden gem wide receiver, low-end wide receiver one. I already told people I don't know if it's going to stay consistent yet. Could be a couple weeks before we see Ladd even be consistent. Maybe he never is, but the truth is you don't need to spend anything that, even if we're wrong, doesn't matter. It looks like Ladd's winning the vote, my boy. Thank you, Husseini. Can we get Denny to do his Danny Dimes song, please? Denny, if you're out there, it's a little past his bedtime. Denny falls asleep way before this time. So, Denny, if you're out there, if you're getting up to go to the bathroom or something, you hear us talking, please call in real quick. 1 QB PPR. QBs are Nix, May, Dart. Which do I trade away? Nix, May, or Dart? I think you trade away whoever will get you the most, Murph. Meaning you let the person that's buying dictate which player they want, because if you start isolating who you want to trade, you might not get the deal done that you want to get done. So you're probably just trading away the one that gets the most interest. I guess, trades that I'd consider, I'm not trading Rice or Ibuka. But would I trade Garrett Wilson? Absolutely. Garrett Wilson and a quarterback for some sort of like JJ, Nico Collins injured, Kyron Williams doubted, Achane, people petrified about the talk today about a split backfield. Genty, I'd take Genty. Achane you already have. Genty you already have, damn it. Let's see here. Judkins, obviously you have him. Damn it, you have everybody. Murph, every time I pick someone off, I go back and look at your roster, and there they are. Rice, Buka, love this team. So I guess if you're trading a quarterback and Garrett Wilson, maybe you're going you got to go wide receiver shopping, I think, if you're getting rid of Garrett Wilson. So let's go check out some of the wide receivers. London off the bye, doubted. Maybe Garrett Wilson and Bill and a quarterback get that. Maybe. If not, Pickens. Pickens would be good. Not going to get probably not going to get AJB anymore. Adunze's interesting. The quarterback for Adunze, throw in Bill. Or you throw in Garrett Wilson and you try and get Nico Collins injured. I don't think you'll get JJ. Of course, you try for it. Probably not getting AJB anymore. As I said, Adams, you could potentially get Adams. Appreciate you, my boy. DJ, appreciate you, pal. Theo, Jennings, Booty for Zay, Flowers, Pearsall. Remember how good Zay started the season? I'm going to go Zay Flowers. I'm going to bank on Zay Flowers getting a little bit back on his horse. Not all the way, but just a little bit. Yeah, Travis, go ahead. I think Blood with another 50.
$50. Give me $50, holla.
This guy don't stop. Grass grow don't stop growing. My loser friend Childress is now 0-7. He blames it on Henderson. I blame it on him being married. Should he get divorced so that he can be better at fantasy football? Also, he wants a reminder where to get your glasses. This is a good question. These are all good questions. Where to get the glasses? That link is in the description of the video, by the way, if anybody wants to get one of these blue light blocking glasses like I wear. I'll show you also the arsenal of glasses. Here's how you get them. Get blue light blockers like Smitty. Boom, there is the link. Click that link right there. That'll be where you can get these glasses. Let me show you the player of the week, brought to you by Gunner.
The Gunner Player of the Week. Brought to you by Gunner.com.
Let's switch these out to The Witcher. The Witcher, like the TV show, Gunners. These are all blue light blocking. My entire assortment by Gunner. Those are all Gunner glasses on that rack. These are The Witcher. They have the leather threading on the side. It's unbelievable. Where are we at? Gibbs for James Cook. Did I already answer that question? Let me just make sure I did. Hold on. And as for Childress, let's see here. Did I answer this question? James Cook and Quentin Johnson. Oh yeah, I blasted that one. As for Childress, I don't know that Childress should divorce. I think that what happens if he divorces and he's still very bad at fantasy football? Then he's got nothing. You know what I mean? My recommendation is to not change everything, because that doesn't mean he gets better. Aaron Jones worth getting off waivers? Maybe. It depends on your scenario. If you got trash on your bench you're never going to use, start, or no one will trade for the trash, then that's when I'd say it qualifies. But I think Mason, is going to carve into his work anyway. Gunner player of the week for Gunner week 8. I mean, Rice is always going to apply being the player of the week, even on the bye week. What about Derrick Henry and Adams for Bijan? I'd rather have Bijan. Let him keep Coleman. Had JD5. Yeah, I'd rather have Bijan. I think it's an arguable thing, but Bijan's much better. Like, would I trade Bijan for Henry and Adams? No, I wouldn't. I think that would be a mistake. And then Husseini with the last super chat, at least at the moment, and then I'll go straight over to Travis. If the Gunner player of the week, Rashee Rice, gets 35 plus points and I advance to 2-6, I will drop $100 on Sunday night and order a pair of Gunner glasses. I can get behind that. I feel like it's a tall order. It's not to say that team. I'm just saying it's a tall order. 35 points and a 2-6. But let's take what we can get. Let's take what we can get from Husseini's like, if Smitty turns into a pumpkin and grows a tail on the live stream this week, I will drop $100 in a super chat. Would you trade Judkins for Bucky? I'd rather have Judkins with the injury and the situation than H13 Productions with a $20 hauler. Appreciate your $20 hauler, my man, doing it live like you know how.
Super chat alert.
Like you know how. 3 and 4, Baker, running back Kyron, Judkins, Scat. Love the running backs. Running backs are fantastic. Rashee Rice, Garrett Wilson, Addison, MHJ. Got offered QJ for Addison. I'm indifferent on that. I probably lean toward Addison. I think he's a better player. QJ's doing well. I admit I've been a little rough on him, calling him one of the worst receivers in the league. He's playing very well this year. But I'd rather have Addison. Another guy needs a running back, willing to send London. Offer Flowers and MHJ for Chase Brown. I would take Chase Brown. I would also potentially try and move, let's say, Garrett Wilson and MHJ for one wide receiver, injured Nico Collins. Go through the gauntlet of guys that we keep talking about over and over as good buy lows. I think, London's a great go-get player for that combo. I think also if you were to throw a Chase Brown, I'd rather Chase Brown, so I'm not going to go get Flowers and MHJ. Wait, hold on. Oh, wait, offers Flowers, MHJ, plus Chase Brown for London. I got you. Okay. Yes, take London and go. If that offer's there, take it and go. And then after that, I think you did yourself pretty good. I mean, you could go Dowdle or Scat with maybe Addison for some other small wide receiver upgrade. I mean, if you can go get that, you might get JJ for that. But I definitely, would be interested in looking at trading Dowdle or Scat with Addison for one more player. But get that London trade done and do it now. Do it now, do it live. That's a fantastic move. I'm sorry, Travis, there's one more. H13. Following up on last super chat, could also offer Chase Brown and Dowdle for MH and MHJ for London. Chase Brown, Dowdle, and MHJ for London. I still take London. However, I don't like that one as much because I really do like Dowdle. My tight ends are Kelsey fan and could try and upgrade there instead. You could, but it'd have to be something special and not take away too much of the rest of your team. I don't mind Fannin. I think Fannon's still pretty good. He had bad weather, and Njoku might be back this week, which is wild. Not wishing injury upon anybody, but it's amazing to me when someone goes down with a dreadful knee injury and then they come back. Like it's always the player you quietly, and this sounds so awful, but the player you want to sit just a little bit longer, just take care of his knees. You know what I'm saying? It's about Njoku, not about me. But it's like, how could Njoku not sit out longer? Like, why is but even so, Fannon's so good. I think he's still going to get better. He's a rookie. I really like Fannin. All right, Travis, can you hear me? Or do I have to turn on the speaker? Well, I'm sure you can hear me. It's a matter of me hearing you. I think maybe the speaker needs to be enabled. Hold on. Because I can't hear Travis. Hold on there. Oh, wait, you know what? Actually, the speaker just, I may need to switch it back. Hold on, Travis. Travis, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. We got you. I don't need the speaker. Okay. I just needed to switch back to the... Okay, and Hassan with this super chat. Hold on, Travis. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to keep up so I don't...
No, you're good.
Burrow, Darnold, Dart, London, JSN, Buka. Love those receivers. Tet's flexible here to be traded. Tet and Chase Brown for something. Tet and ETN for something. Tet and Pollard for something. Do that. Tet and Sharps for something. Unless you can't get what you want from Sharps. I like Sharps. Okay, good. You got that. Tyler Warren, love it. Trade London for Genty. I'm going to say negative on that. I think London's in a better spot than Genty. I think Genty's game script dependent and can get completely screwed by the flow. Whereas London is either in a close game or he's playing from behind and getting a lot of targets. I think we haven't quite seen London. London will be more secure and steady. I'm not doing that trade. I like Genty a lot. I do. I would rather give up something else. The problem is you probably set the precedent that that's the value and the guy's not going to take differently. But Chase Brown and Tet for Genty would be a gamble, but more of a gamble I would take if I'm going after Genty. I think also you could go after running back like James Cook coming off a bye week. You could go after Derrick Henry coming off a bye week using Chase Brown and Tet, using ETN and Tet. You could also go get Tootin, which you may or may not have and you didn't list, but that could also secure up that ETN running back 2 for you. And then because you've got, who's your other running back? Yeah, you're going to have to do that anyway. That's where I'd take, but definitely rather have London. Even if you need running backs, it's just not the right move. All right, go ahead, Travis. You're live.
Grassgrove sent another one.
Okay, Grassgrow, appreciate you. He says, sorry about the hate for Childress, about my hate for Childress. He is watching, by the way. He lost a fantasy football bet and should have worn a karate gi with a black belt I bought him to the bar, the sports bar, but he never did. How does he fix this? I think if he super chatted right now and tried to match one of yours, that should make it a completely clean slate. Would you be in agreement on that, Grassgrove? If he was to drop somewhat of a significant, decently sized super chat, that would be some sort of clean slate between you and him? I think that's probably the best idea. Or he could order a pair of Gunner glasses using this link right here. Link, grab a pair of Gunner, verifiable, not just say he did it. I think the super chat's more appreciative on behalf of Grassgrow. Thank you, Grassgrow. Appreciate it. Childress has a lot of work to do. He should have why wouldn't he have worn that to the sports bar, first of all? Normal attire at a sports bar. All right, go ahead, Travis.
Go one more if you want to keep going.
Trade my Ted McMillan and Hampton for Bucky and QJ. I would take Bucky and QJ. Yeah, absolutely. Easy. All right, go ahead, Travis.
One thing with ETN, it's really hard to know what's going on there because they've played 3 of the best rush defenses in the league. So, and they come out of the bye against like Vegas and some other, fairly bad teams. So it's going to be hard to know his exact value rest of the season. And we see what it looks like out of the bye.
That's why you hear me a lot of times say just get Tootin. Not everything is get rid of ETN, dump him like he's trash. But I do believe in Tootin coming off the bye for a lot of the reasons you just said. The schedule opens up. Tootin's looking like he's getting more work. Tootin could be an absolute top 8 running back league winner. But I also don't think people should just discard ETN. They should, like you just said, consider that there's a world where he comes back into relevance. But I think securing up the backfield's the best solution for anybody that can't get rid of ETN for anything right now. Giving White and Nico for Cook, I would rather have James Cook over injured Nico, I believe, right now, with Nico being banged up, with White potentially, I don't know. That one's tough. I guess it would depend on the record. If not Nico for Henry, I'd rather have that one. I really would rather have Henry bye-week free. Well, Cook's bye-week free too. I don't know. That's tough. That's tough because Cook was so good before he started to slump a little bit. I would say I still think for some reason I want to take a gamble on Henry in so many leagues right now. I really think coming off the bye, he's just going to have a little bit left in the tank, and I think it's going to work. And let me get this other one real quick. 12-team PPR league, 5-2. Herbert, Caleb, Saquon, Kyron, Monty, Rashad White, Rashi Rice, QJ, Downs. Just lost Evans to IR. Offered Rashad White for JMO. I don't mind that one, I suppose. Others will. People are going to hate JMO. I still think he's got good value. I think Rashad White might have a little more value, but it's temporary potentially. So I don't mind that move, actually. It's preemptive. Saquon, Kyron, Monty, Rashi Rice, QJ. It's a pretty solid team. I don't know that anyone's buying any of these players, unfortunately, except for Rashi Rice, and I don't want to sell them. I'm tempted to move QJ. You could look to move McBride, like QJ and McBride for a JJ. QJ and McBride for a QJ McBride for like an injured Bucky and something. QJ McBride for, I really like JJ. That kind of feels like the best opportunity. QJ McBride. And I want you to get something else if you can. And I don't want to sell McBride lightly, but you have Pitts. You're looking for a move. Maybe you're feeling like you need something. But then again, it's like this team's pretty solid. Like you'll be all right. If Saquon rebounds, you could go McBride and Saquon for Henry and a player. You could go McBride and Saquon for JJ and a player, but that player is going to have to be significantly different if you're going that route. But I like the squad. I think you'll be okay. Go ahead, Travis.
Yeah, and with JMO, like, for now, he's kind of boom bust. But if you need a wide receiver, you can probably get him dirt cheap. I saw a couple of people drop him. So, he's not a bad guy to take.
I mean, Ladd and JMO were the people I said to avoid almost the most. But they're very, very good players now that their values have been completely decimated. The cost of entry is free if they've been dropped. And even if they haven't been dropped, the only reason they haven't been dropped is probably because you inquired about them and made the person hesitate on dropping them. But I do love acquiring both of them on the cheap right now. Let me see. I'm looking at some NFL hires right now, and I want to throw a couple at you guys right now. Let's go to rushing yards. Rushing yards on, I love Scattaboo 57.5. That's a really, really nice number. That's a really nice hire on Underdog. Scat 57.5. Let me throw these up on screen for you guys. These are just two of them that I like so far that I'm screenshotting here. Derrick Henry 83.5. I think he's going to sail over that. I really do. And I know I'm putting a lot of eggs in the Derrick Henry basket coming off the bye week, which is unusual to a lot of people. They think I'm off my rocker because I was so hell-bent against drafting, these guys like Ladd, like JMO, like Henry, like Barkley. But it just comes down to new costs of entry and value. Let's see here. We'll put these up on the screen. Go ahead, Travis.
So earlier you had mentioned, asked about rest of season, that you would take Hunter over Ladd rest of season. What if you threw AJ Brown into those three? Hunter, Ladd, AJ Brown.
AJ Brown. AJ Brown, Hunter,
still
than Ladd. Yeah. Guys, play 5, get 5 on Underdog. Here's the Underdog link. That link's in the description of this video, and in the link, link is in the description of every video. Underdog, code Smitty. If you just download the app manually, you just enter code Smitty when it says, how did you hear about us? But easiest thing to do is to hit the link that I'm going to pin in the live chat right now. So hit that link. Boom. That link will allow you to get $100 when you play 5 for new customers. So hit that. And then these are some of the hires that I love on Underdog for week number 8. Derrick Henry coming off the bye week against the Chicago Bears. 83.5 yards. They've got to do something to get back on track, and I think running the damn ball is going to be just exactly what they want to do. I think Scattaboo, 57.5 rushing yards. I know it's Philly. This guy is different. He's built different. He's going to pile drive anybody in his way. And yeah, maybe Philly's hit and miss too with their defense, but it doesn't matter. It just doesn't. 57 yards, he's going to be able to clobber that. I still believe in Ladd McConkey. I think Minnesota's tough, 56.5 yards, but Minnesota's tough sometimes, and they've been proven to be able to be beat. But here's another one. Judkins, New England's tough, though, but I do think Judkins, against the Patriots, 68.5 yards. You still think he's hitting that, right, Travis, or do you not?
I think he's got a pretty good chance at that, yeah.
Man, that should be good. I wouldn't say these are all, like, absolute locks, but I'm just, at a glance, I'm liking some of these. Don't know that I put them all on the same ticket. Let me switch this over. Okay, so here is Quinshon Judkins. I like this one. Maybe like this one over the Ladd one. I don't mind the Ladd one. Ladd's such a good route runner. I do believe that he's going to thrive the most. Quinshon Judkins, 68.5 rushing yards. New England is tough. It's in New England, but I think that he's going to be leaned upon heavily. I think if we're rolling with another Judkins, James Cook, 75 yards. Dowdle, 48 against Buffalo. What did Dowdle have last week? It was 79 yards.
Yeah.
17
for 79.
17 attempts. I'm going to go higher on Dowdle on 48.5. None of these are all, I don't want to say like all these guys are going to hit at once. I'm just telling you the ones that I think, pick the ones you like the best. But I think,
one thing you can do if you're willing to take a little bit of a hit is you can lower the yards by like 10 yards. And you get a little worse odds, but they hit it a way higher rate. So just something for people to keep in mind.
Yeah, that's true. Bijan, 88 yards. Achane, 62. Those are all respectable. They're really giving them some respect. What is the other one I wanted to do?
Against Miami. So, it's a lot. But...
Warren. What was the one I was going to look for? Let's see. Receiving yards on Underdog. Let's see. Receiving yards. JJ, 81. I'm not saying these are my favorite. I'm just reading them off. Dunze, 59. Kind of like that one. Dunze, 59. I think he hits that. Gosh, why is this thing keeps glitching on me? I'm trying to press the Dunze, 59. I like that. Let me throw that on screen. I like that one a lot. Again, this is Underdog. Play 5. Get 100, guys. Let me throw this up. So Judkins. Did I do the Dowdle one? I didn't throw Dowdle on screen yet, did I? Here's Dowdle. I like this one. I'll narrow these down. I'm throwing them all on here, but these aren't. I'm not putting them in order or anything. I'll kind of narrow it down to my top 3. Okay, this next one, I see the super chats. I'll handle those in just 1 second, guys. Appreciate your patience here. If I can get it to freaking send to me, hold on. Yeah, I like this one.
Switching on me too.
Roma Dunze, I like this one. 59.5 yards. That might be Dowdle, and that one might be two of my favorite. Let me set that one right here. And let's go over. Thank you, Husseini. I see your $20 hauler. I think I got 4 or 5 super chats out there. I'll be right with you guys. Scotty Barkley, Dunze, Diggs, Judkins receive. This is all receiving. London 66 yards against the Dolphins. Yeah, that might be one of my favorite ones. Now, I know Penix has not done good on the road, but it's the Dolphins. Should be a cure. Should be a cure. I could see Penix Jr. really having a very stellar game and people being confused about what to think about him. And rightfully so. No one's saying there isn't question marks about his long-term capability. But the other thing you got to understand, too, is he's kind of a rookie. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, he is a rookie, really.
Nine career starts. I was trying to tell people that last week.
I mean, what do we really expect out of him? Just because we've seen some quarterbacks do better. I mean, sometimes it takes time. You know, to want to write off Penix Jr. as he's learning the game, learning to read defenses, I think it's a little bit of a tall order for people. Achane, 29 yards receiving. Am I out of my mind, or is that... Well, I guess he only had 16 last week, 22 the week before that, 32, 29. Okay. All right. I guess it's not a lock. Egbuka, 76 yards. I'll take that against the Saints. Okay, I think I found my favorite 4. I think my favorite 4 are Egbuka, higher than 76 yards. I love that one. I think he's going to cook. Although I could go receptions. Let's see if we like the reception number better. It just glitched on me again. Okay, Egbuka, 5.5 receptions. He's got 4, 2, 7, 4, 6. I guess the yardage I like better. Okay, so my favorite are going to be Dowdle, Dunze, hold on a second. Okay, so I like Dowdle, 48.5 higher, as you can see on the left hand side of the screen. Dunze, 59.5 higher. Judkins is kind of a tough one. Maybe. What do you think? What's your confidence level 1 to 10 against the Patriots D, Travis? 68.5.
Like 7.5. I mean, I think he gets there. Like,
Chat, vote on that. Confidence level 1 to 10 on Judkins getting a 68.5 rushing number. Higher. We're going to keep London in this.
They've been good against the run, but who have they played? You know, they've played Tennessee, New Orleans. But James Cook was really the last good team that they played against.
All right, we'll take Judkins off it. So Scattaboo, 57.5 higher. Egbuka, 76.5 yards higher. Drake London, 66.5 yards higher. Roma Dunze, 59.5 yards higher. And Dowdle, 48.5 higher. I like all those a lot. And if you flex it, and let's say I was to do $50 on the flex, that pays $500. So $50 pays $500 if I get 5 of 5 correct. Pays $500. on the flex, if I play, the flex basically lowers the amount and gives you a chance to make it if you miss one, but it lowers the like it pays. So if I don't do it flex, if I just make it to where I have to get all 5 right or I lose, it's $50 pays 1,000. But if I do $50 with a flex, I can miss one and I get 2.5 times my value. So I'll get I'll get, $125 spending 50. So 50 will pay 125 if I miss one of those. But if I get them all, I get 500. If I don't flex it, I get 100, but I can't get that $125 option. I always like doing the flexes though, because it feels like, especially if you pick 3. When I pick 4, it's a little bit more risky. We'll have to see. Those are my favorites right now. If I had to narrow it down to 3, Scatterboo 57.5. I feel like that's almost a lock.
You get so many carries.
Which one is the worst one? Dowdle 48.5 yards. He's sharing carries, so that could be the risk, I suppose. Rome 59.5 yards. Drake London 66.5, and then Scat 57.5, and Buka 76.5. Which one's the worst one?
Out of those you named,
Yeah, Dowdle 48, Rome 59, Drake London 66, Scatterboo 57, Egbuka 76.
It's so hard. I think they're all going to hit. I might say Odunze just because I don't know what the deal with the Baltimore defense is. They're supposed to be getting guys back, and I don't trust Caleb. But at the same time, they've been terrible.
Okay, so take Odunze out. So now we have Rico, Drake London, Scat, and Egbuka. If I was to take one out, do I take out Drake London 66 yards, Scatterboo 57, Dowdle 48, or Egbuka 76? Now pick one to take out, boys. $20 pays $200, or yeah. So take out Drake London. Take out Rome. We took out Rome already. I don't know. This one's tough. It's tough between these 4. I'll tell you that. All right, let me get these super chats. Let's take this Rome. So I think I like the best ones. I like are the Dowdle. I'll put them on screen here. Dowdle 48.5 higher. Scatterboo 57.5 higher. London is the one we took off, but I still like it. London. Where's the other one that I had? Oh, Derrick Henry. You forgot about that one. 83.5 is a lot, but I still think he's going to get it. Still think he's going to rumble for it. All right, let me hit these super chats. Husseini with the $20 hauler offered Henry owner my JD5 and Kamara. My other QB is Knicks. I'm fine with that. I mean, I guess I'm fine with that. It is a lot, but I don't know. I think it's worth taking a gamble on Knicks. Although I'd rather you give up Knicks and Kamara, but then again, you can't use 85 this week. So what do you do? I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. Chat, would you agree? Kamara and JD5 for Henry? I think it's worth it. Try and get something back if you can, I suppose. But if you already sent it, it's fine. Nick startable every week. Yeah. I mean, he's top 6, 7 in fantasy. And he's got some good potential matchups too. Judkins, Genty, my top 2 running backs. Okay. Benson on IR. Harvey, Woody, Pacheco on bench. Benson returns soon. I don't know. We think so, but after the 4 weeks are up, well, it'll be day to day. Hard to say. Chat, do we like Henry? I think Henry's one of the best values right now. 1 and 6 and Buka Genti for London Dobbins Dowdle. Buka Genti. I'd rather a Buka Genti, but it's close. It really is close. Would you take JMO over Worthy? No, because you don't have to. Like, quietly, do I think that could work out? Sure, but JMO's getting cut. You just heard what was said earlier. JMO on waiver wires in some cases. Like, Worthy's, you know. Also, as a lad owner, how worried are we about Gadsden? I mean, it doesn't, I'm not too concerned about that. I think Lad's going to become consistent at some point. But your cost of entry is...
I think Gadsden affects UJ a little more.
Yeah. No rush, Smitty. I'm chilling. You know me. Love the show. Thank you, Husseini. Husseini, appreciate you. Am I saying your name right, Husseini? Or is it pronounced differently, Husseini? Pickens, Sharps, Kincaid for DK Bowers, Wilson. Pickens, Sharps, Kincaid for DK Bowers. Give me DK Bowers, Wilson by a lot. And I try and flip Garrett Wilson, though. I'd probably try and flip Garrett Wilson and DK, but it's definitely the better side. Bowers comes back. He alone could be worth that if he comes back, and I think he will after this bye week. But White has dropped. White was dropped. Get him and flex. Bijan, Kyron, Vidal, JCM, Woody, Hendy, Harvey. Dropped kicker for Gadsden, but also have Tyler Warren and Fannin. Tootin also on the wire. Grab Tootin. I'd rather have Tootin over, I guess, JCM. If I had to pick. I'm not saying I want to cut JCM either, but if I had to pick, Tootin for me. All day. H13, appreciate you. Is it too ambitious to offer Rashad White for Worthy? Not really. No, I don't think anyone. How dare you? How dare you? Alternates, Dobbs, no. Golden, no. Pearsall, no. Myers, no. Figure JMO is the top option. I like JMO a lot. But as far as your Worthy Rashad White, I mean, I could see it going either way. But I think Rashad White's on more borrowed time, right? Well, then again, Worthy's on borrowed time too. One shot to the shoulder. Yo, Smitty, I made a few trades that I regret. Amon-Ra St. Brown for Sutton Hall. Yeah. Trade 2, Buka, K9, and Sharps for JJ and Chuba. But you got Rico. That one could be okay. Yeah, you probably give up a little too much, but hopefully JJ goes on a tear, and it secures up your running back stable. I mean, at the time when you did that, I imagine Chuba was the starter, and he was, thought to be carrying over last year's elite running back 2 or low end running back 1 value. So don't be hard on yourself on that one. That was hard to see coming. 3 and 4, 9th place, 10 team, 1 half point PPR, woke up. Panic. Don't reflect on the past either. What, Travis?
3 and 4 is still okay, unless most leagues you're still okay at 3 and 4.
Yeah, let's just move on. Don't worry about it. K9 and Sharps trying to trade that. I mean, boy, I'd love to get JJ back. Buka back. Oh, you got rid of K9 and Sharps. Okay. So you have Chuba, Rico. I like JJ and Chuba, Rico. I'm fine with that. I don't know what else you have on that squad, but let's work with what you got. Don't worry about the past. Don't regret anything. Just move forward. JD5 Dart. Let's see here. JD5 Dart, Genti, JCM, Harvey, Hendy, Bam, Pickens, Adunze. 5 and 2 buy low, scores and lucky matchups moves. I'd probably say Dart's going to cover you for a little while. Genti and your running back 2 is tough right now. You're relying on JCM, which is hard, but hopefully Harvey or Hendy pop off. I'm okay with you waiting on that one. and playing JCM for right now. We'll take it week to week. Puka, Adunze, Keenan Allen, Hunter. Yeah, I don't know. You might have to do a divide and conquer of Puka, man. I hate to say it, but I just don't know. I mean, Keenan Allen, Adunze, Hunter is pretty solid, though, for this bye-week run. But Genti, if you just had like a different running back, it'd be different. I would say try and see what you can get for Puka. And I'm talking Judkins and London, and you're ripping someone off. And yeah, you throw him back a Gadsden, or you throw him back a Keenan Allen, and you maybe get two monsters. I'm not saying I give Keenan Allen in that exact deal. Maybe you go after a bigger running back at that point. I don't know. I would start with the Judkins, start with the Henry, and start with the James Cook owners, specifically James Cook and Henry, because they're bye-week free. Potentially a Kyron or H-Hand owner. See what player you could get with all those players. JJ owner, and see what running back you can get. See what 2-for-1s you can get with Puka, and then come back. That would be my advice. And then this last super chat here from Ben-tastic. Ben, thank you. 2 and 5. Adams, Rome. Pickens, AJB. Nice receivers. If you can start all 4, you're good. If not, we trade one of them. And Breece Hall, ETN. A lot to be desired there in terms of, trades. Don't trade Josh Allen, I don't think. Bowers, don't trade Bowers. Let's try and take one running back and Monty, one running back in White, one running back in Hall. I'm sorry, wide receiver. One wide receiver in ETN, one wide receiver in Hall, one wide receiver in White, one wide receiver in Monty for one running back. The wide receiver I'd trade away. I guess Rome. He should be able to get you something. Like when you put him with another player, I think you could take Rome and Hall and get Henry, Rome and White and get maybe not much there, I guess, with Rome and White. Rome and Hall for try Henry. You could go Hall and I mean, if you went like Hall and Pickens for Henry and something, it'd have to depend on the something. You might have to do a 2-for-2. I think your goal would be to walk away from a 2-for-2 where you quietly like both the players better. Using Hall and Pickens or Hall and AJB. AJB might be the best player to potentially go get. AJB the best player to potentially trade away because he could still fall off. Or be inconsistent based on Jalen Hurts, and to sell him at an ultimate peak. Let's say you traded just AJB for Henry and a piece. That might be the way to go, because you should be able to do that. You're saying my name right, Smitty. Since I'm here, Tootin or Monungai, give me Tootin all day. Drop Woody, Pacheco, Harvey, or either one. I would probably drop. I'm not dropping Harvey. I'm not dropping Woody personally. So the question is, do we think Pacheco, we thought Hunt was going to be out a significant amount of time. Didn't Hunt even return to the game? He got injured, but I think he came back. I forget. Travis, do you remember if Hunt, didn't he come back?
He's okay.
Yeah, I don't think he's, it looked like he was going to have a serious injury, and then it was like all of a sudden he was back. I don't know if I believe in, I'd rather have Tootin than Pacheco.
It's not on the injury report or anything. So.
I mean, there's 3 running backs there. Bashard Smith's getting more and more work. Pacheco does look good when they use him, but they just don't use him enough. And I think Tootin to me is a league winner. Pacheco's had a lot of time to prove that, and he hasn't done anything with it. So it's like, could he come back into form? Maybe. And maybe I live to regret to tell him to drop Pacheco. What other wide receivers can you drop? Can you drop someone else? And I know everyone's going to say drop Harvey, but I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I
Both
would.
on bye, too, so, he knows his league. Will they just sit out there, or you have to grab them now, If you could pick them up Sunday night, if your league allows it after, when one guy plays, if he does nothing.
Yeah, I just know Tootin's got, and I don't know that he'll ever be able to exercise the value, but he's got so much value just sitting there. If I'm
fine at running back, I'd drop Pacheco for Tootin and roll the dice on it.
I definitely am wanting Tootin over Pacheco, but I'm just wondering if he's got another receiver he can drop or something, or a backup tight end, because the tight ends, you can pick up another one later. I don't know.
True.
All right, Travis, anything else?
Yeah, just a couple quick things. Gadsden, tomorrow night is the Thursday game, so that always is iffy. We've had some decent Thursday games. Aside from, the obvious, who are you willing to start him over? Obviously not like the Ferguson McBride war, and not Kelsey or Kraft.
Well, just give me a name and I'll say yes or no. Gadsden or other.
Right. Like Laporta.
I would probably say, man, Laporta's tough because he's not getting any targets at all. I mean, him and JMO, it's nothing to do with them. It's just to do with the play calling and everything. It's not. Everyone's running away from JMO right now, but I think JMO could be. So you're talking about a different week. Obviously, Laporta's on a bye. So just in general, Gadsden or Laporta?
Yeah. In general, just kind of thinking who are you, taking him over right now. How about Kincaid if Kincaid plays? He's playing this week.
Well, so this week or because long term could be different. So you want me to answer this week or long term, or I guess I could try both for each question. But I mean, Laporta on a bye, so obviously not him this week. Kincaid or Gadsden? I'm going to go Gadsden. Minnesota's tough, but at the same time,
they just got lit up too.
Yeah, they got lit up, but at the same time, I don't know that they're extremely tough against tight ends. Let me just pull up the matchup on that, because they're tough against QBs. They're definitely tough against. Let me see. Gadsden, Minnesota. Yeah, I guess they are playing the tight end position pretty well.
Yeah, I'd have to look at the routes Gadsden was running too, because he's kind of one of those cleaner guys where he's almost like a wide receiver when he's running.
8 targets, 9 targets off of and a player that has been banged up in Kincaid. Although, man, if Kincaid gets in there and does, I mean, he's been doing well. This is a tough one. Kincaid's got it's a great matchup on paper. What's it look like for Kincaid? Week 8 availability up in the air. Oblique. Man. And he's been getting great, except for week 4, he's been getting very good target share. And he just keeps scoring. You know what? Thursday game? I guess you know what? You don't know, though. Kincaid might not play. And then we don't know in enough time. So in that question, I say Gadsden because of the Kincaid injury.
Okay, and you said Gadsden over Fannin, did you say?
This week?
Yeah, this week.
New England's tough against the run, but tight ends, they give up a lot too. I think because they're kind of like a safety net.
Yeah, they give up a lot through the air.
I'd probably say, man.
I guess that's tough too, because Njoku might come back.
Yeah.
Kind of a mess up, no matter what.
I don't know why they bring Njoku back when they have a bye week the next week.
They should just trade him. It's not part of the future.
Yeah.
That's another story.
I guess give me the hot hand Gadsden over that too.
Okay, that's kind of how I was leading as well. So that helps. Okay, and the last thing I had was just a quick trade question on that 1-6 team I got. I need to win. It's the way the standings sit. Would you trade Genty, AJB, and Tyler Warren for Rice and Chase Brown, leaving with Gaston and
So Rice and Chase Brown or Genty, AJB, and Warren.
yeah.
Jeez. Probably Genty, AJB, and Warren. And redraft. Is it redraft or dynasty, you said?
It's redraft. I'm 1-6 though, and the way the standings sit, if I lose, I might be able to lose one more week out of all the rest, or I'm out of the playoffs. Maybe.
Well, Rice is gonna have a bye. Genty's on one. I don't know, man. That's so tough. It's pretty even, you know, because Rice is the best player in the deal, but Warren is fantastic, and AJB's on a fire.
What if I take out AJB and throw out BTJ, see if he'll do it?
Oh,
I haven't offered any of it.
I'd much rather have the Rice side if this is BTJ, but that's hard to imagine that he's going to do that one. But if he did, that's a great trade.
I know he really wants Genty, so I'm kind of trying to plan out for that. But,
well, you know what I would say? You know what? I think that even looking at this way, it's still very arguable. You know, like Rice is the best player in the deal, but like Genty over Chase Brown for me all day right now. Warren's so good in the position, you know, advantage. I don't know. I guess I would say this is I'm okay with. I would definitely not do the other one now. Now that I'm looking at it with BTJ in there and I still think it's even, that makes me feel like, okay, definitely don't include anything better than BTJ. Genty, BTJ, Warren for Rice and Brown, or I don't do it.
Yeah. No, you're right. 'Cause, I mean, Warren is so dominant right now. It really is an advantage. So, okay, awesome.
All right, thanks, Travis.
Appreciate it.
Later, bro.
Yeah, talk to you later. Bye.
Rock out. What can I do for you? As I'm about to close the line down, but you always calling in the nick of time. What can I do for you, son?
Can I give you my team real quick?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, my team is quarterback Prescott and Penix, running backs Henry, Achan, Harvey, Ray Davis, and then wide receivers Mike Evans, he got hurt. Tez Johnson, Leggett, JSN.
Wait. JSN. All right. Let's, Rock out. You've been here long enough. You're showing your house without mowing the lawn.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Let's write this out right. You got Henry over Achan, which is screwing this whole thing up. Hold on. Achan.
Henry Achan.
No, Achan Henry. Henry. JSN's your number one wide receiver, so let's write him first. Let's do this proper. JSN. Who is your second best receiver?
Evans, but he's hurt.
Okay, and then who else?
Got Jennings.
Tez.
I mean, not Jennings. Bourne.
Okay, and Tez. All right. So you got Dak, Achan, Henry, JSN, Evans out. Tez Johnson, Kendrick Bourne, Harvey. Am I missing anybody?
Also got Mooney and Bourne and Leggett.
Okay. So can this team win? Let's start with that. I think it could.
Not really.
No, it could. It could. I mean, Achan, Henry, Dak, JSN's really good. Can you win this week? Probably not. Like you need JSN in order to win. But it's gonna be a tall order. But I mean, hey, What would I do with this team? I mean, the only thing I would consider doing is if you did trade JSN right now. Like, what's your record?
3-4.
If you were to trade JSN right now because you feel like you have to, based on you looking at the other teams, you just don't think you have what you just said. I don't think I can win. So maybe you're looking at a lot more dominant teams and I don't see them. So if you think you got to trade JSN, it would have to be Judkins and Adams like. Because if you put Adams and Judkins into this roster, it look really good. So I would say start off with Judkins, start off with James Cook, start off with JJ, and see what second player you can get for JSN, and only do it if you're feeling damn good about the lineup. Like, you write down the lineup and you say to yourself, okay, I got Judkins and let's say you got Judkins in London for JSN and Bourne, or whatever, or Tez. Then all of a sudden you write this team out and you say Dak, Achane, Henry, Judkins, London. Yes, great team. So you have to feel that way. If this is Adams, would you feel that way? Probably. It's a little lesser, but I do like it. If this wasn't Judkins, James Cook, I still think I'd like it a lot. If this was Kyron Williams, I think I'd still like it. I'd love it if it was Kyron in London. So go to the London owner, go to the JJ owner, go to the Kyron owner, go to the Judkins owner, start cooking up 2-for-1s, and then play it by ear.
I also got really, it doesn't matter, but yeah, I got really too.
All right, rock out. Appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate your input. Cool.
Yeah, get that done. I think you'd be happy with it if you did, but only do that. Don't do anything crazy. You could always run it by us. All right, later, bro.
Cool.
Garrett Wilson digs for Kittle, Wandell, Bourne, Dynasty 2-5. Garrett Wilson digs for Kittle, Wandell, Booty. Give me Garrett Wilson. It's Dynasty, man. And Garrett Wilson's still great. Genty or Bucky. I'd rather have, if you've got a great record, I'd wait on Bucky. If not, you almost have to consider it, but I'd almost say with the bye week, though, it's only going to be one extra game that Bucky's out, so maybe I'll want more than Genty, honestly, but it's understandable either way. Other players on the bench are Kamara, Genty, Hunter, JD5, and other running backs are Judkins, White. Only player droppable in my eyes is Pacheco. I'd rather have Tootin than Pacheco. Not saying I want to cut Pacheco necessarily, but in a vacuum, I want Tootin over Pacheco, if that answers your question. Also want to pick up Rashard Smith over Tootin. Well, okay, so if you're a KC fan and you want to do that, I don't know, man. Chat, if he's a KC fan and he's got Pacheco, does anybody feel comfortable with him dropping Woody Marks for Rashard Smith? I'm going to leave this up to the chat. Husseini, I want nothing to do with this vote personally because I love Tootin. But I like Woody too much, but I would love to know if the chat, we got a nice little Woody chat group here. So if they vote to do it, then it's not the craziest thing in the world. If he's got Pacheco, he wants to get Rashard Smith. Is it crazy to drop Woody? Yeah, Travis is right. Don't let your fandom get in the way. He's gonna do it anyway. Just be wiki. So far everybody wants Woody. They want the Woodmeister, bro. The Woodmaster. The Woodchuck Master. Achane. Chase Brown, Mason, Pacheco, White, Nico, Rice, Sutton, Nagbuka, T-Mac, Tet. T-Mac. T-Mac, Tyler Warren. any moves. Mason or Chase Brown with Sutton for one player. With T-Mac, Mason, Chase Brown, and T-Mac for one player. So go after Adams, go after James Cook, go after Kyron, go after Achane, go after Henry, go after JJ, go after injured Nico Collins. Get one player using Mason and Sutton or Chase Brown and Sutton or T-Mac and Sutton, or Sutton and T-Mac for one slightly better wide receiver also works. That also does pretty good. Has anybody heard of Gunner.com? Let's switch out the glasses.
The Gunner Player of the Week. Brought to you by Gunner.com.
Let's put on my favorite pair. I always go back to the Clicks. These are my favorite. I want them with the orange, amber, dark amber color, though. I really, really want them in the orange, dark amber. I think I might wear those the most if I can get my hands on those. I'm going to get in contact with Gunner and see what they can do. I think they only offer the Clicks Amber Orange in a prescription, because you can get your prescription built. You can get your prescription built into these bad boys. Like, you can enter in your prescription into the website when you order it, and they'll come with your prescription in them. I'll tell you one thing. There's nothing better than sunglasses that are prescription. If anybody needs glasses, and I only need them distance-wise because of astigmatism. I have like 20/20 vision in each eye, and this isn't like abnormal. Stigmatisms are where, and some people have no idea what they have, but it's where both eyes just see the same point slightly off, and then as it gets further, it separates. And then you get blur. It's like overlapping 20/20 vision. And there's nothing better than sunglasses that are prescription. They're so amazing. And these are blue light blocking. All of Gunner's are blue light blocking. And so I want the orange amber tint on the Clicks. The Clicks are my favorite. They're just, you barely feel like you have them on. They're so comfortable. But order them today. The link is in the live chat. Oh, I'll drop it again right here. Order your pair of Gunners now. Do it. You won't be sorry. You'll love these bad boys. You'll absolutely love them. They're fantastic. I can't live without them. I truly, I say this all the time, but there's not anything better in my studio than my Gunners. My Gunner sunglasses are literally my favorite part of my studio right now. And I got all the gadgets and things that I have. Blue light blocking glasses. Let me put this link in there. Hit that link, do it live. Blue light blockers from Gunner. Get you a pair, 15% off by using code Smitty. They are literally my favorite thing in here. 513, you're live real quickly, and I'm jumping out of here.
Hey, Smitty. Want to see if I could get assessment on this team real quick.
As quickly as just give me your question. I'm not going to write down the whole team like I said when you call that. As fast as you can. Okay. Hit me with the.
I'm just trying to see if I need to weather through this and not.
All right, read off your lineup as fast as you can.
Okay, Penix, Pacheco, Rashard Smith.
This is your team. Okay, you're going to ask me, should you weather through what?
I know. I'm 3-4 in this one, and with the buys and the injuries.
Okay, so Penix Jr., Rashard Smith, Pacheco. Okay.
Yeah, and then Waddle. Got Darnell Mooney off the waiver. Got Otten. Double flex, so it's Josh Downs and Troy Franklin right now. It's terrible. I'm hoping that I was able to put Bucky in the IR just to pick up a defense. And I've got Debo and Wilson. I basically need one of them to start to be able to pick up a kicker because I've got so many other players on. I've got Hunters on bye, MHJ on bye, Sharps on bye. Gibbs on bye, Tootin on bye.
Okay, so the story's getting better. I mean, your team is still. This is a god awful lineup, but we were all kind of thinking this is your team.
I
So
know.
you've got So you've got Gibbs. You said you
Yes,
have
sir.
Gibbs. You do have
Yes, sir.
Gibbs. Okay, Gibbs,
sir.
Bucky,
Yeah.
and who else?
Wilson.
Garrett Wilson. Okay.
Yep, and Debo. And Hunter.
Okay.
And MHJ. Yep.
Okay. So I think when you called in, you probably should have said, "Hey, maybe you did." And I didn't hear it. Like your team's on a bye, but okay. You probably did tell me, and I just didn't hear it. All right. A lot
I got
better,
it.
bro. The tears in my
But
eyes.
everyone's I'm just like trying not to like. I mean, I'm 3-4, like Travis was saying earlier. It's like I'm still in there, and it's like I don't know. I've been trying to reach out to a couple managers. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to swing anything, and I'm just like the best player on waivers that's like a running back would be that the backup to Henry is that Hill guy. So I'm just like I obviously don't like to.
Yeah, you're probably taking an L this week. I'll just say that. But I mean, if this team scores 50 points, I'll be shocked. But I mean, you never know. Always try. What if Franklin goes crazy? What if Josh Downs has that day? Waddle has a day. Like I've seen crazier things happen. Sometimes the bye week team has the most points. It's wild. So try. But in general, I mean, what's your record?
3-4 in this league.
Okay.
I did acquire all of that. On the only thing positive too that I got going is I still am holding on to the number 1 waiver wire. Unfortunately, somebody picked up Gaskin last week, or I would have sniped him.
What are you holding it for, though, bro? Every week we get through.
I just didn't see anyone out there besides Mooney this week, and I was still able to get Mooney for free. But it was just like nobody was like, I just haven't. There hasn't really been anyone to pick up. I thought, but.
Well, I mean,
I know I got to use it eventually. I can't take it.
I mean, Gadsden might have been the move, I guess.
Somebody picked him up the week prior, so.
Oh, okay. What about Tootin out there? Like, who else is out there that maybe shouldn't be? This might be.
He's on my bench. He's on a bye.
Yeah, but I just mean in general. Okay. Well, keep an eye on who gets dropped, because if somebody drops a Tootin or a Harvey or a Hendy, that might be a player like that. I know you have Tootin, but that might be like your reason why you saved it and you end up crushing with it. Someone said they dropped Bucky and they got Bucky off waivers in a league. I know you got Bucky, but I'm just saying, like, weird things happen. It's crazy.
And that's kind of why I was holding on to it too, just in case something weird happened.
Yeah.
And I was still going to be able to get like a couple guys off waivers this week, and pretty much.
Husseini.
Obviously I'm probably just going to chalk this up, but
Husseini to the moon.
It's the worst team I got out of the bunch, so I just wanted to call in. And
once you get Gibbs, Bucky, and Debo back in, it's a lot better. It's still kind of a struggle bus team, but it's certainly a lot better. It seemed like this was your team, and we're okay. What? And somebody in the chat's like, "Is this a 64 team league? Like, what's going on here?" But I don't know. Given that you're probably not going to get the right trade pulled off, like unless you trade Gibbs for Judkins and JJ,
like a divide and conquer kind of.
Yeah, which I would entertain if I'm you, because at 3 and 5, you've got Gibbs in your 3 and 5. You know what I mean? Like you got Gibbs. Like, so what are you waiting for, really? So explore. Go to the JJ owner. Go to the Judkins owner. Go to the Henry owner. Go to the injured Nico Collins owner. You're going to lose this week anyway. Nico Collins is bye week free, and if he sits out a week, what's it hurt you? So you go get Nico Collins. I mean, you are trying to turn Gibbs into 2 players that could help you win this week, I guess. But go try those things. See if you can get 2 players. Don't just pull it off. Maybe check with us, or make sure that if you do it, it's something amazing like London and James Cook. And I don't even know if that's enough for Gibbs, to be honest.
Right.
So go try and see what you can get.
Like I said, it's the worst one. It's the worst baby out of the bunch, but I'm trying to.
All right. What if you did this? What if you did this? Let me just write this out. What if you were to let's say you were to trade Bucky for Henry. He's bye-week free, so then you're cruising there. You trade Gibbs for who's the JJ owner have? Do you have any of this offhand? I don't really have much time for you to like dig through and find it. Like if it's there, it's there. If it's not, I'll make up something.
Let's see, 1 second.
Like JJ and what? Who's he have that you could get Gibbs? Take Gibbs, send him to the JJ owner, get JJ and a running back.
All right, let me look up Jefferson. He's got Jefferson. He's got this guy's got JT, and he's got Cook, and he's got Rice.
Cook.
Kind of the
Cook.
Cook.
Oh, right. Like Rice would be unbelievable. He's not going to trade JJ and Rice for.
Yeah, I don't.
Will he?
Who did you just say? I'm sorry.
JJ and Rice for Gibbs. Might.
I mean, I'm hearing you. So like, just kind of entertain ideas. I'm just trying to hear it out right now. Okay. Yeah, I could.
So let's just say you traded Gibbs for JJ and Rice. I'm not, and if it's JJ and Cook, that might work. Okay, so then we got that going on.
Yeah.
We're gonna start Hunter, and we're gonna bank on Hunter balling the hell out. Debo and Waddle, or Debo and Garrett Wilson, or Waddle and Garrett Wilson. We're trying to go get a player like Adams, Waddle and Debo, Garrett Wilson and Waddle. I mean, maybe, or I mean, you could just throw all three of those guys into the lineup. But I would like to see if we could get something, Brashard Smith and Pacheco with one of them for something. Maybe, I don't know. Trying to think. Adams, London. I don't think you could get London. Maybe, I wonder if you could trade all three for London. I don't know. Yeah. You get my point, but like you have Henry, JJ, Rice, and Hunter. Like you're all of a sudden competing, you know. So just try some of those and go in that direction.
Okay.
All right, man.
Well, I really appreciate you spending this much time with me, Smitty.
All right, later, bro. Appreciate you.
Thanks, man.
All right, I am going to check these super chats. I think I'm all caught up on the supers, actually. Thank you, Husseini. Appreciate you dropping that last one. We are out of here. Jason, this was the last one. Okay. Jason said, help. I got a trade offer. My Kyron for his Breece Hall and Zay Flowers. Not trading Kyron for Breece Hall. Zay Flowers, while I like him, if he got dropped, I'd certainly pick him up and be intrigued and go, yeah. But that's it. I mean, we like Zay, but we don't love Zay. Zay's no, difference maker when we're talking about Kyron to Breece Hall drop off. Now, Breece Hall could get traded to KC, and all of a sudden we like, Travis makes a good point. Caller that just called up. Do you have Patreon? If you could put in the chat, whoever just called in, if you could put in the chat, who you are, but join the Patreon, bro. Like you could get 24/7 live chat advice from the entire community. And there's the link right there. I just dropped it in the live chat. Patreon. I'll pin the link. Make sure you click that blue light blocking glasses link before I swap it out if you want to get those. And it's in the description of the video as well. Replacing said pinned link with the Patreon link. $10 a month, cancel anytime. Get 24/7, 365 advice from the amazing group that you see in the live chat right now over on Patreon. But yeah, whoever that caller was of this team that we just broke down should be on the Patreon. You'd love it. You literally get advice all the time. Good call, Travis. Good call. See you all tomorrow. Deuce.
Audac attack. Audac attack. Lamb. Pickens. Lamb. Pickens.
Through sheer science and intense aerodynamic study, the mullet of Puka Nacua has been reconstructed inside the Fantasy Football Show studios. This systematic balance of hair volume, mixed with both Quantum Atom fiber technology and L'Oreal shampoo and conditioner, creates a floating mechanism to which the world has never seen. Patent pending. To see this prototype in action, see Puka on Sundays as he floats around the field.
It's Chiefs season. Mahomes is scoring 45 plus touchdowns. Let them cook.
But the continuum of the gigawatt component structure of Jahmyr Gibbs' workload divide has a megawatt offload that if you compartmentalize the component conjunction timekeeper and you flux capacitor out the continuum component megabolt, things just end up happening. And that's why Jahmyr Gibbs is a top 5 to 10 running back instead of top 6 to 10. Don't forget Patreon. Everybody that still has questions, that are dropping questions in the chat right now, trying to get answers, 24/7, 365 live chat group, pinned link. Link just dropped freshly in the live chat. Links in the description of the video, as well as the blue light blocking glasses link, the underdog link, the addict.shop link. See you all tomorrow. Dose.